What if one of the most underrated remedies for hair growth has been sitting in your kitchen this whole time and almost no one is talking about it in the right way? I'm talking about okra. Yes, that simple vegetable that becomes a little slippery when you cook it. That texture is actually the key to why it may help support healthier hair. Now, here's what most people don't understand. Hair growth is not just about what you put on your hair. It's about the environment of your scalp and the condition of your follicles. If your scalp is dry, inflamed, or lacking proper support, your hair is not going to grow the way you want it to. This is where okra gel becomes interesting because of its natural composition. Okra is rich in mucilage, which is that gel-like substance you notice when it's cut or cooked. That mucilage acts almost like a natural conditioner. When applied to the scalp and hair, it can help coat the strands, reduce dryness, and improve manageability. But more importantly, it may help create a healthier scalp environment, and that's where real hair support begins. A dry scalp can lead to irritation, flaking, and weak hair roots. When the scalp is properly hydrated and calm, the follicles are under less stress. Okra gel helps retain moisture without using harsh chemicals. Many commercial products strip the scalp, then try to replace that moisture with synthetic ingredients. Okra works differently. It supports moisture balance in a more natural way. There's also a nutrient angle here. Okra contains vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin A, along with small amounts of minerals. Vitamin C is involved in collagen support, which plays a role in the structure around hair follicles. Vitamin A supports skin health, including the scalp. While applying okra gel is not the same as eating it, you're still exposing the scalp to compounds that can support overall skin condition. Another thing to consider is friction and breakage. A lot of hair loss people think is from the root is actually from breakage. Hair becomes dry, rough, and more prone to snapping. The slippery nature of okra gel helps reduce friction when detangling or styling. That means less mechanical damage, less breakage, and over time, the hair appears fuller because more strands are staying intact. Now let's talk about inflammation. Many people have low-grade scalp inflammation and don't even realize it. It can come from harsh shampoos, frequent chemical treatments, tight hairstyles, or even stress. Inflammation can weaken the follicle environment. Okra gel has a soothing effect. It doesn't burn, it doesn't irritate, and it can help calm the scalp when used consistently. But here's the important part. Okra gel is not a miracle cure for baldness. If someone has advanced hair loss driven by strong hormonal factors, this alone is not going to reverse everything. However, if your hair is thinning due to dryness, breakage, poor scalp condition, or mild stress-related shedding, improving the scalp environment can make a noticeable difference over time. Preparation is simple. You take fresh okra, slice it, and boil it in water until it releases that gel-like texture. Then you strain the liquid and let it cool. What you're left with is a natural gel that can be applied directly to the scalp and hair. Some people mix it with oils like coconut oil or aloe vera, but even on its own, it can be effective as a basic scalp treatment. When applying it Focus on the scalp first, not just the hair strands. Massage it gently to improve circulation. Leave it on for about 20 to 30 minutes before rinsing. You don't need to use it every day. A couple of times a week is usually enough to start seeing how your scalp responds. Consistency matters more than intensity. Many people try something once or twice and expect instant results. Hair doesn't work that way. Hair grows slowly, and any supportive treatment needs time. Over a few weeks, you may notice your hair feels softer, tangles less, and breaks less easily. Over a longer period, that can translate into better overall thickness and appearance. Also keep in mind that external treatments work best when combined with internal support. If you're low in protein, iron, zinc, or vitamin D, your hair is not getting the building blocks it needs. If stress is high and sleep is poor, the body shifts away from growth and repair. So think of Okra gel as one piece of a bigger strategy, not the entire solution. The reason natural options like this are gaining attention is because many people are tired of harsh chemicals that promise fast results, but sometimes damage the scalp in the long run. A gentler approach that supports the scalp barrier, reduces breakage, and improves hydration can be more sustainable. So if you're dealing with dull, dry, or weak hair, and you want something simple, affordable, and natural to try, Okra gel might be worth experimenting with. It supports moisture, reduces friction, soothes the scalp, and helps create a better environment for your hair to grow stronger over time. One of the most important things to understand about hair growth is that the scalp environment plays a major role, and this is where Okra gel becomes very interesting. Okra contains a natural substance called mucilage, which is responsible for that slippery, gel-like texture you notice when it's cut or cooked. This mucilage is not just a random characteristic. It has properties that can help support moisture balance and that directly affects how the scalp behaves and how hair grows over time. A dry scalp is one of the most overlooked causes of weak, thinning, or unhealthy looking hair. When the scalp lacks moisture, it can become tight, flaky, and irritated. That irritation creates a poor environment for hair follicles. Follicles are living structures, and like any living tissue, they respond to stress. If the scalp is constantly dry or inflamed, the follicles are not operating in ideal conditions. Hair may grow more slowly, strands may become weaker, and shedding can increase. Many people try to fix this by using strong shampoos or heavy conditioners, but those often strip the scalp first and then try to replace moisture artificially. Okra gel works differently because of its natural hydrating effect. The mucilage forms a light protective layer over the scalp and hair strands. This layer helps retain moisture instead of allowing it to evaporate quickly. When the scalp maintains better hydration, it becomes more balanced. It is less likely to flake, less likely to itch, and less likely to become irritated. That calmer environment allows hair follicles to function with less stress, which can support healthier hair over time. Another key detail is that mucilage has a smoothing effect. When applied to the scalp, it spreads easily and coats the surface without being harsh. This is important because many people unknowingly damage their scalp barrier with aggressive products. The scalp has a natural protective barrier that helps regulate moisture and protect against irritation. When this barrier is disrupted, pitted, it can lead to sensitivity, dryness, and even increased oil production as the body tries to compensate. Okra gel is gentle and does not strip away this barrier. Instead, it helps support it by maintaining hydration. Hydration is not just about comfort. It influences how the skin cells on the scalp behave. When the scalp is properly hydrated, the outer layer of skin remains flexible and intact. This reduces the chances of micro-irritation and helps maintain a stable environment for hair growth. When the scalp is dehydrated, the skin can crack slightly, become rough, and trigger low-level inflammation. Over time, that kind of stress can weaken the overall condition of the hair. Okra also contains small amounts of vitamins like vitamin C and vitamin A, which play a role in skin health. Vitamin C is involved in collagen production, and collagen is part of the structural support system around hair follicles. While topical application is not the same as internal nutrition, exposing the scalp to these compounds may still contribute to better overall skin condition. Vitamin A supports skin cell turnover and helps maintain healthy tissue. Together, these nutrients add to the supportive effect of okra gel when used regularly. The consistency of okra gel is another advantage. Because it is naturally slippery, it spreads easily across the scalp without requiring forceful rubbing. This matters because aggressive application techniques can damage the scalp and even pull on fragile hair roots. A smoother application reduces mechanical stress and allows for a more gentle routine. This is especially important for people already dealing with thinning or weak hair, where every little bit of stress can add up over time. Another factor to consider is how okra gel interacts with the hair shaft itself. Dry hair tends to be rough, and rough hair loses moisture more quickly. The mucilage helps coat the hair strands, smoothing the outer layer and reducing moisture loss. When hair retains moisture better, it becomes more flexible and less prone to snapping. This indirectly supports hair growth because less breakage means more length retention. Many people think their hair is not growing, when in reality, it is growing, but breaking at the same rate. By improving moisture retention, okra gel helps reduce that cycle. Scalp hydration also influences oil balance. When the scalp is too dry, it may start producing more oil in an attempt to compensate. This can create a confusing situation where the scalp feels oily but still lacks proper hydration underneath. That imbalance can clog follicles and create further irritation. By helping maintain a more stable moisture level, okra gel may support a more balanced scalp, reducing extremes of dryness and excessive oiliness. Another important point is that hydration supports better circulation at the surface level. While okra gel itself does not directly increase blood flow in a dramatic way, a well-hydrated scalp is generally more receptive to normal circulation. Healthy circulation is important because it delivers oxygen and nutrients to the hair follicles. When the scalp is tight, dry, or irritated, that environment is less supportive of efficient nutrient delivery. Over time, even small improvements in scalp condition can contribute to better follicle performance. The simplicity of Okra gel is also part of its strength. It does not rely on synthetic chemicals, artificial fragrances, or harsh preservatives. Many commercial hair products contain ingredients that can irritate sensitive scalps, especially during periods when the skin is already more reactive. Okra gel offers a more natural alternative that focuses on hydration and support rather than stripping and replacing. This makes it appealing for people. This makes it appealing for people who want to reduce their exposure to aggressive treatments. Consistency is where the real benefit comes from. Using Okra gel once or twice will not transform the scalp overnight. The goal is to gradually improve the condition of the scalp over time. With regular use, the scalp may become less dry, less irritated, and more balanced. As the environment improves, the hair follicles are under less stress, and that can reflect in the way hair grows and feels. Another advantage is that Okra gel can be customized. Some people use it on its own, while others combine it with ingredients like aloe vera or light oils. This flexibility allows individuals to adjust based on their scalp type. A very dry scalp might benefit from adding a bit of oil, while a more sensitive scalp might respond well to pure Okra gel without any additions. The base function remains the same, which is hydration and support through mucilage. The idea here is not that Okra gel forces hair to grow faster in a dramatic way. It is that it improves the conditions that hair depends on. Healthy hair growth is not just about stimulation. It is about creating a stable, supportive environment where follicles can operate without constant stress. Hydration, reduced irritation, and a protected scalp barrier all contribute to that environment. When the scalp feels comfortable, balanced, and properly hydrated, it sends a different signal to the body compared to a scalp that is dry, inflamed, or constantly irritated. That difference may not be immediately visible in dramatic ways, but over time, it can influence how the hair behaves. The strands may feel softer, the scalp may feel calmer, and the overall appearance of the hair may gradually improve as breakage decreases and retention increases. One of the biggest hidden reasons people struggle with thin, weak-looking hair is not always hair loss from the root, but breakage along the length of the strands. This is where the unique texture of Okra gel becomes very useful. The natural mucilage in Okra creates a slippery, smooth consistency that can significantly reduce friction when handling hair. That may sound simple, but friction is one of the most damaging forces acting on hair every single day. Hair strands are covered by a protective outer layer called the cuticle. When the cuticle is smooth and intact, the hair reflects light, feels soft, and resists damage. But when hair becomes dry, dehydrated, or chemically stressed, the cuticle starts to lift and roughen. Once that happens, strands begin to catch on each other. Combing, brushing, washing, and even simple movement can cause friction. That friction weakens the hair structure and leads to breakage over time. Okra gel helps address this issue by coating the hair strands with a thin, slippery layer. This coating smooths the surface of the hair, helping the cuticle lie flatter. When the cuticle is smoother, strands glide past each other more easily instead of tangling and pulling. This is especially important during detangling, which is one of the most common moments when hair breaks. Many people unknowingly damage their hair every time they comb through knots, especially when the hair is dry or unprotected. The slip provided by Okra gel makes detangling much easier. Instead of pulling through resistance, a comb or fingers can move more gently through the hair. This reduces mechanical stress on each strand. Over time, less stress means fewer broken hairs, and that directly affects how full the hair appears. When breakage is reduced, more strands remain intact, and the hair looks thicker and healthier, even if the actual growth rate has not changed dramatically. Another important point is that breakage often gets mistaken for slow growth. Many people feel like their hair is not growing, but in reality, the hair is growing from the root while breaking at the ends. This creates a cycle where the length never seems to increase. By reducing friction and protecting the strands, Okra gel helps break that cycle. The hair that grows has a better chance of staying intact, which allows length and density to gradually improve. The benefits of reduced friction extend beyond detangling. Everyday activities like tying hair, styling, or even resting the head on a pillow can create small amounts of friction. Over time, these small forces add up. Hair that is already dry or damaged is more vulnerable to this kind of wear and tear. The slippery coating from Okra gel acts as a buffer, helping to minimize the impact of these daily stresses. Heat styling is another area where friction and damage often increase. Blow dryers, straighteners, and curling tools can dry out the hair and roughen the cuticle. Once the hair becomes rough, it is more likely to tangle and break. While Okra gel is not a replacement for proper heat protection, its ability to maintain moisture and smooth the strands can help reduce the overall level of damage. Hair that retains more moisture tends to be more flexible, and flexible hair is less likely to snap under stress. Flexibility is a key concept here. Healthy hair has a certain level of elasticity, meaning it can stretch slightly and return to its original shape without breaking. Dry, brittle hair loses this elasticity and becomes more rigid. When force is applied, instead of stretching, it snaps. The hydrating and coating effect of Okra gel helps maintain this flexibility. By keeping the strands softer and more pliable, it reduces the risk of sudden breakage during normal handling. Another factor to consider is how Okra gel affects tangling. Tangled hair increases friction because strands are already caught on each other. Trying to separate them creates tension, and that tension leads to breakage. The smooth texture of Okra gel helps prevent tangles from forming as easily in the first place. When tangles do occur, they are easier to work through without excessive force. This makes a big difference for people with longer hair or textured hair where tangling can be a frequent issue. Chemical treatments also play a role in increasing friction and breakage. Processes like coloring, bleaching, and chemical straightening weaken the hair structure. They can lift or damage the cuticle, making the surface rougher and more prone to catching. In this weakened state, hair needs extra care to prevent further damage. Okra gel provides a gentle, non-harsh way to support the hair by smoothing and protecting the strands without adding more chemical stress. Even environmental factors contribute to friction. Sun exposure, wind, pollution, and dry air can all affect the condition of the hair. These factors can strip moisture and make the hair more vulnerable to damage. A natural coating, like the one provided by Okra gel, can help reduce the impact of these external elements by keeping the hair better hydrated and smoother throughout the day. Another advantage is that Okra gel does not weigh the hair down heavily when used in the right amount. Some heavy conditioners or oils can make the hair feel greasy or flat, which leads people to avoid using them consistently. Okra gel tends to provide slip and smoothness without excessive heaviness, making it easier to include in a regular routine. Consistency is important because the benefits of reduced friction and breakage build over time. Application technique also matters. When Okra gel is applied evenly through damp hair, it distributes more easily and provides better coverage. Starting from the ends and working upward can help protect the most fragile parts of the H. Air first. Gentle finger detangling or using a wide tooth comb while the gel is in place can further reduce stress on the strands. This combination of slip and gentle handling creates a much safer environment for the hair. It is also worth noting that reducing breakage can improve the overall appearance of hair density when many strands are breaking at different lengths. The hair can look uneven, thin, and frizzy. By keeping more strands intact, the hair appears fuller and more uniform. This visual improvement can be significant, even if the actual number of follicles has not changed. Another subtle benefit is improved shine. When the cuticle is smoother and lies flatter, it reflects light more evenly. This gives the hair a healthier, shinier appearance. While shine is often seen as a cosmetic feature, it also indicates that the surface of the hair is in better condition. Reduced friction contributes to this by preventing further roughness and damage. The role of consistency comes up again here because the hair shaft is exposed to daily stress. Using Okra gel occasionally may provide temporary smoothness, but regular use helps maintain a protective layer that reduces ongoing damage. Over weeks and months, this can lead to noticeable improvements in how the hair feels and behaves. The idea is not that Okra gel magically transforms the hair overnight, but that it changes the physical interaction between hair strands and their environment. Less friction means less stress, less breakage, and better retention of length and density. When combined with proper nutrition, gentle handling, and reduced exposure to harsh treatments, this simple change can contribute to stronger, smoother, and more resilient hair over time. A healthy scalp is one of the most important foundations for strong and resilient hair. And this is where the soothing nature of Okra gel becomes especially. Why valuable? Many people focus entirely on the hair strands, trying to fix dryness, frizz, or breakage. But the real activity is happening at the level of the scalp. Hair follicles are living structures embedded in the skin, and the condition of that skin determines how well those follicles can function. When the scalp is irritated, inflamed, or unbalanced, it creates a stressful environment for hair growth. And over time, that stress can lead to weaker strands, increased shedding, and slower regrowth. Scalp irritation is more common than most people realize. It does not always show up as severe itching or visible redness. In many cases, it exists at a low level, triggered by daily habits and products. Harsh shampoos, chemical treatments, frequent heat styling, tight hairstyles, pollution, and even stress can all contribute to irritation. The scalp may feel slightly tight, dry, or sensitive, but these subtle signals are often ignored. Over time, this low-grade irritation can disrupt the natural balance of the scalp and affect how the follicles behave. Okra gel has a naturally calming effect because of its mucilage content. This gel-like substance forms a gentle coating over the scalp, helping to reduce direct exposure to irritants and prevent further dryness. Unlike many commercial treatments that contain strong, active ingredients, Okra gel works in a much softer way. It does not sting, burn, or create a harsh reaction. Instead, it helps the scalp feel more comfortable, which is an important step in restoring balance. When the scalp is soothed, one of the first changes that may occur is a reduction in dryness. Dryness often leads to flaking, which can be mistaken for dandruff. While dandruff can have multiple causes, a dry and irritated scalp can produce small flakes that fall onto the hair and shoulders. Okra gel helps maintain moisture, which can reduce this type O, F flaking, and make the scalp feel less tight. A well-hydrated scalp is less likely to crack or become irritated, which supports a more stable environment for hair follicles. Inflammation is another key factor. Even mild inflammation can interfere with the normal hair cycle. It can push more follicles into the resting or shedding phase and reduce the time they spend actively growing hair. Inflammation can also weaken the attachment between the hair and the follicle, making strands more likely to fall out prematurely. By helping to calm the scalp, Okra gel may reduce some of this low-level inflammation, allowing the follicles to function more normally. The soothing effect also supports the scalp barrier. The scalp, like the rest of the skin, has a protective barrier that helps regulate moisture and defend against environmental stressors. When this barrier is damaged, the scalp becomes more sensitive and reactive. Products that are too strong can strip away natural oils and disrupt this barrier, leading to a cycle of dryness and irritation. Okra gel supports the barrier by providing hydration and a gentle protective layer, helping the skin maintain its natural defenses. Another aspect of scalp health is oil balance. Some people struggle with a scalp that feels too oily, while others deal with excessive dryness. In many cases, both problems are linked to imbalance rather than a simple excess or deficiency. A scalp that is stripped of moisture may respond by producing more oil, creating a greasy feeling while still lacking proper hydration underneath. Okra gel helps support a more balanced state by maintaining moisture without clogging the scalp or overwhelming it with heavy ingredients. Comfort plays a bigger role than people think. When the scalp feels irritated, people tend to scratch, rub, or overhandle their hair. This can create additional stress on the follicle and lead to more breakage or shedding. A calm, comfortable scalp reduces the urge to touch or scratch, which indirectly protects the hair. Small behavioral changes like this can have a noticeable impact over time, especially when combined with other supportive habits. There is also a connection between scalp health and circulation. While okra gel itself is not a strong stimulant, a calm and hydrated scalp is more receptive to normal blood flow. Good circulation helps deliver oxygen and nutrients to the follicles, which supports their activity. When the scalp is inflamed or tight, circulation may not function as efficiently at the surface level. By improving the overall condition of the scalp, okra gel helps create a more supportive environment for these natural processes. The gentle nature of okra gel makes it suitable for repeated use. Some treatments that aim to fix scalp problems can only be used occasionally because they are too strong for regular application. Okra gel, on the other hand, can be used consistently without overwhelming the skin. This consistency is important because scalp health is not something that changes overnight. It improves gradually as the skin becomes more balanced and less reactive. Another important factor is sensitivity. During certain periods, such as hormonal changes or high stress, the scalp can become more sensitive than usual. Products that were once tolerated may suddenly cause irritation. Okra gel provides a simple option during these times because it is less likely to trigger a negative reaction. Its minimal and natural composition reduces the risk of introducing new irritants to an already sensitive scalp. The role of external stressors should not be ignored. Pollution, dust, and environmental toxins can settle on the scalp and contribute to irritation. While okra gel is not a cleansing agent on its own, its coating effect can help protect the scalp after washing by creating a barrier that reduces direct contact with these stressors. This adds another layer of support to the overall scalp environment. Another subtle benefit is how okra gel interacts with the hair roots. When the scalp is calm and balanced, the follicles are better able to anchor the hair securely. Irritation and inflammation can weaken this anchoring process, making it easier for hair to shed prematurely. By reducing these stress factors, okra gel helps support a stronger connection between the hair and the follicle. Routine also matters. Applying okra gel regularly creates a habit of caring for the scalp in a more mindful way. Instead of using harsh treatments sporadically, a gentle routine encourages consistency. This steady approach allows the scalp to recover and maintain its balance over time. The combination of hydration, reduced irritation, and barrier support gradually improves the overall condition of the scalp. It is also worth considering that scalp health affects how other treatments work. A calm, balanced scalp is more likely to respond well to additional supportive measures, whether they are nutritional, topical, or lifestyle related. When the scalp is constantly irritated, even good treatments may not work as effectively because the underlying environment is unstable. The idea behind using okra gel is not to force rapid change, but to remove some of the stressors that interfere with natural hair growth. By soothing irritation, maintaining moisture, and supporting the scalp barrier, it helps create conditions where the follicles can function with less disruption. Over time, this can reflect in the way the hair feels, behaves, and maintains its strength and appearance.